a little bit earlier is 10 to 15 minutes. So, fellow Toastmasters, please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Kathleen Whelan.
Hello, ladies. Thank you. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, where's my screen? There. Let's see now. Then I need to move this off to the side.
There we are.
And then, whoops, not there. Off to the side. Come on now, cooperate. On there. Sorry, ladies. All right.
There we go.
Can you see that? Except you're looking at my belly button. How about that? There we go. Okay, can you see the presentation and/or see me? Is everything well?
Yes, everything's
Okay,
good.
excellent. So I want to talk about finding new members. We need to do some recruiting. Our club is struggling in terms of members. And the reason we need to get new members is not just to get Toastmasters awards. If we get a certain number of members and we recruit a certain number of members every year, we're eligible for a distinguished club and some other different awards within Toastmasters. That's not the only reason that we need to recruit and get more members. We need to recruit and get some more members because new members bring new blood into the club. They bring new innovation, they bring new ideas. And as one of the speakers at the division contest I was at over the weekend said, that Toastmasters is a revolving leadership program, or he said some variation of that. And he was right. The clubs, our leadership changes every year. The area leadership changes every year. The district leadership changes. The division leadership changes rather than the district leadership changes. It changes to keep things fresh, to keep things new, to keep things moving forward. And I think new and fresh people, new and fresh ideas, it motivates people to just keep moving forward. And having new members will give us a group of people that we can look to grow the leadership in our club itself. We have had, Louise and I have been president, and we've sort of been shifting president back and forth the last 2 years or 3 years. And I don't know about her, but it kind of stresses me out that when we come to elections this summer, each one of us is going to be flipping a coin going, so do you want it or do I want it? And we need to really bring some fresh people in so that we don't burn out. And we don't burn out as leaders, and so our other officers don't burn out as leaders. Or how about this? Let's say we have enough members to fill the other officer positions. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to look at this picture and ask you if you feel the same way that this person feels. Who said recruiting was stressful? I'm 27 and I feel great, except he looks like an old man because it feels really hard. But recruiting new members does not have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be really easy. First of all, let's speak up. Let's confabulate with our friends and our family and our coworkers. How many times do you go to church or you go to work and someone says, hey, Louise, what have you been up to lately? And you go, nothing. Or, same old, same old. That's not same old, same old. You had a meeting this Monday. How many people did you tell about your meeting today? I can honestly say I didn't tell a single soul. I am totally guilty of not spreading the word and speaking up. So I think we just need to talk it up more, have in our mind what our own little personal Toastmasters elevator speech is. Why did we join Toastmasters? Why do you think your friends and your family want to hear about it? And let's talk about what are we wearing. On the Toastmasters site, you can buy clothing. You can buy shirts. They have men's and women's shirt. They have different kinds of shirts. There are pins and buttons that you can buy and you can wear. I'm actually wearing, I'll get a little closer to the camera there. See that old button? I got that button. I think Amy actually literally handed it to me, but the district gives them out when you step out of your comfort zone and you volunteer and help at area contests, division contests, conferences, things like that, sort of as a token and thank you for helping out. Wear your buttons. And someone might see it and say, oh, that's a neat little button. What is that button? Gives you an opportunity to talk, to speak up, to confabulate. And what about gadgets? Everyone's into these little spinners, these little fidget spinners. Did you know Toastmasters has a fidget spinner? They absolutely do. Among other things, they've got pens, they've got cups. They've got coffee mugs. I mean, they've got travel mugs, they've got coffee mugs. Things that you can sit on your desk. You could just buy a Toastmasters fidget spinner. Oh my goodness, and then throw one across the room. Sit it on your desk. Your coworkers come into your desk and they just can't resist these fidget spinners. Lay it on your desk and they'll talk it and play with it, and then they'll look at it and go, Toastmasters? Wow, what is Toastmasters? An opportunity for you to tell them why you joined Toastmasters and why they should join our club, or why they should come and visit our club. And there's flyers and magazines. We all get magazines as members. When you're done reading it, do you toss it? Do you keep it? Do you even read it at all? When you're done with it, maybe accidentally on purpose leave your magazine at Starbucks. The next person who sits down will flip through it and read it and be like, wow, Toastmasters is kind of neat. And it may lead them to go to the site and look up a club and come and visit us, or put a little post on it and say, hey, when you're done with this, come visit our club. Or you can go to the Toastmasters.org site. They have flyers you can download. And you can see from the one I have on the screen here, you can add information about our club when we meet, and email. You can put either your own personal email, or we have a club email address you can put on there, and they can email the club and get more information about us. And there's I want to say about a half a dozen different types of flyers you can download. We could also, as a club, create our own flyer. We started to at one point, and I don't know what happened to the motivation that went along with that flyer, but we sort of lost the oomph on it. And the last one that I had, I was looking at it, I was going to use it as my example. It had our Tyson's Corner address, what was that place called? I can't remember now. It had that address on it, and I didn't have time to edit it and make a whole new flyer. But we could edit that flyer and use that and pass that around. There's a ton of businesses right around here that we could go to, the Starbucks, the Giant, the Bob Evans, there's a Santini's, there's all kinds of places right around here, probably here, even at the library, and ask them, hey, can we put up a flyer? We're a nonprofit organization, so it's not technically soliciting, because some businesses won't allow you to put a flyer up if it's soliciting. We're not soliciting. We're asking people to come in and check us out. Well, don't just go to the store and say, hey, can I put this on the thing, and stick it up on the flyer and walk out. Ask to talk to the manager. When the manager comes to you, you tell them, hey, I've got this flyer and I want to put it up, but let me tell you a little bit about Toastmasters. Let me tell you a little bit about our club, so that if somebody comes to them and asks what this flyer is about, they can at least say, oh yeah, I talked to this lady and she told me a little bit about their club and they sound really cool. Take that flyer and take it with you and go check them out. We could have some special meetings. There's all kinds of different special meetings we could have. The most popular that is recommended is the open house. And at a recent executive council meeting, I learned about something that another club is doing. Is actually a club in Pittsburgh. When they have their open house, they don't just have one open house, they have two, essentially back to back. So hypothetically, if we had an open house in June, we could have it first Monday in June and the third Monday in June. And what that does is someone will come to the first Monday in June and they'll check us out and they'll listen to us and they'll say, wow, this is really cool. These ladies are really great. I'm going to come back. When they come back to the second open house, maybe they bring someone with them. They bring their coworker, they bring their relative with them. And we ask them, and at both occasions, hey, would you like to join us? Hand them an application right there and then. Sign up right now. We might end up with 2 people joining instead of just 1. And another thing we could do for special meetings, we can have guest speakers. And again, create a flyer, spread it around this area, and say we're going to have a speaker come and talk to us about whatever the topic is. We could find a speaker who'd be willing to come about motivation, come to talk about presentable dress, any number of things, interpersonal skills, why the sky is blue, whatever. But we put that on a flyer. We put it out around the community, and they might see that and go, well, that sounds like a neat topic. I'm going to go check that out then next Monday. And then there's social media. I mean, come on. Aren't all of us on social media in some manner or fashion? YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Facebook. Facebook would be an excellent way for us to find new members. There are so many ways that we could use Facebook alone to find new members. Pardon me. You could create a public event. Post it on your timeline on Facebook, and if you make it public, not just your friends see it, but it could show up in literally anyone's timeline. Someone local might see it and say, oh, this looks neat. I think I'm going to say yes and go. So we might end up with new people that way. Create an event and invite all of your friends to it. We could do that. If we wanted to, we could also create, there are some clubs who have their own club Facebook page. They create events on their own Facebook page. Our sister club or our mother club, the Women's Society of Cyber Jiu-Jitsu, they do have a Facebook page. They don't post a lot on it, but when we post to it, because I've tried this and it didn't work very well because I'm not an admin on the site. So once the post is accepted, it actually looks like feedback. It doesn't look like a post. So that really doesn't work for us. But what would work is if individually we each talked about what we're doing tonight. Over the weekend, post a link to our free Toast Host website that has a lot of information about our club. And post that on your page and say, hey, I'm going to a meeting this Monday. Who would like to join me? And just invite all your friends to come out and check us out. So now that we've done that, we've done all of we've hooked up the social media, we've put the flyers out, we're wearing all the pins, we're playing with all the gadgets. What comes next? Well, our guests show up. And what do we do with them? Let's treat our guests properly. And I think we do this really well, actually. This is one part that I think we really excel in. Greet them like they're a new friend. And we do that. Someone walks in that we've never seen before, we shake their hand. Hey, how you doing? How'd you hear about us? Did you have any problems getting here? Have a seat. Louise has new member packets. She gives them a new member packet. We spend the entire time talking up about Toastmasters before the meeting starts and then after the meeting is over. And we talk to them about, hey, are you interested? Would you like to join? At the end of our meetings, we engage them and give them an opportunity to give our club feedback, to give us feedback. I think we did that very well. But we could continue to do that. We could be social with them. Let's have some coffee. We get a couple new members come, or even if we have one new member, there's a Starbucks literally across the street. Maybe after the meeting, we say, hey, let's go have coffee. And let's talk for a little bit. And we sit down, and it's late, so we all have decaf. And we just talk. Maybe not even about Toastmasters, but you sit and talk for 30 minutes. And you get to know them, and they get to know us. And they'll feel more comfortable with us, and they might come back. They might join us. We could even arrange to not just coffee, but even dinner. I tend to stop at the Bob Evans. It's a mile or two up the street for dinner sometimes on the way here. As a club, we can make that a regular thing. Hey, on the first Monday of X month, we all meet at Bob Evans at 5:30 for dinner. How about our new members join us? We send an email to all the prospective members and say, come have dinner with us before our meeting. Something like that. Be social with them, not just hang out with them here in our little meeting room. And we make them feel that they are always welcome. Come back, come back. Come back and check us out. Maybe they're not ready to sign that check tonight. There's a lot of reasons why people aren't ready to sign that check tonight. They're not sure if this location is convenient. They're not sure if they feel confident enough. Maybe they're not sure if they can afford it, but they're curious about it. We need to invite them to come back. And I think we kind of do that well. We sort of drop the ball after the meeting. We send maybe one email out welcoming them. Hey, it was nice seeing you. We hope we'll see you again. And I don't think we communicate with our prospective members again. I don't think we say, we don't consistently follow up with them and invite them all to come out, say, for an open house or just to come out in general. I think we dropped the ball a little bit on that. So let's keep our efforts personal, helpful, and friendly. That is the big key to all of it is really it's the first two, the first and the last one, personal and friendly. We're not just a bunch of strangers who like to stand up in front of people and yammer about whatever is important to us. We really want to get to know the people around us. We want to get to know, pardon me, we want to get to know our club members. We want to get to know, I want to get to know all you that are online. I want to get to know more people that are here. And we can be friendly and we can be personal and we can do that. And we can help them feel comfortable and join us. Ta-da! Here's us being nice and friendly people. So in conclusion, here's the next, where is it? Okay, it's not coming up. In conclusion, there are simple things we can do. We can keep our recruiting simple. Wear little buttons, put things on our desk to draw attention, confabulate with anybody who will hear us and talk to us about the club. Next time somebody says, hey, what's new? Talk to them about Toastmasters. Because maybe it's not new, but it's new to them. We can treat our guests well, continue to treat our guests well. We do that very well. And we can keep things personal with them. So thank you. Oh, sure, now it shows up. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, for letting me talk to you a little bit about how we can recruit some members and bring some members into our club. Thank you. And I couldn't scare timer. I have no idea if I'm over.
Excellent, excellent job.
Couldn't see
Come on in. Speaking of new members,